Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP Chat, and if you are not familiar with what that is, that's a work in progress. I'm going to be working on my Josephine wall magical merry-go-round diamond painting from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and I've gotten some done. I don't want to say it's a lot, but I'll show you. But feel free to work on whatever you would like to work on, whether it's a diamond painting or other crafts, or simply treat this like a podcast and just listen while I diamond paint. And I'm just going to be talking about things that are going on in my life, also diamond painting. Okay, before I get set up to where I'm going to be working on my diamond painting, I wanted to show you guys my updated progress. I've gotten a couple more sections done, and this is the sky. So there's not really much going on except for the bright colors, or some dark too, and some grays. But I'm really enjoying this. The confetti is getting pretty heavy, but I know where all of my drills are within my storage, so it is rather easy for me to find one of my colors. And this does have 200 different colors in it, and this probably has all the colors so far that is in this particular canvas. So I have gotten all of this done here. I'm working my way down towards the end. Hopefully within a day or two I will have my first row completed. Then I can go ahead and start on row 2 for next week. That would be lovely if I could do that. So I'm going to also show you my small shop haul that I have, just a couple of things, and then I'm going to rearrange and then we can get started. Now last week I showed you this, and this is also on my painting, and this is release papers from Crafts with Crashley, and then also my pen is from Leopard Leatherworks here, VP Gal Creations, and this says JWall 2025. She made this specifically for us, and I love her trays. And then I am not using this for my Josephine wall, but this is a Elizabeth Ward dupe that I have gotten from Paintsomeway, and thanks to Paintsomeway for sending this to me. I really do appreciate it. It is a little hard to open, but it does get easier. I have these in larger sizes. This was less than $15 US. So if you're interested in Elizabeth Ward, but you can't really afford it or can't find them, or you don't want to pay that much money, then check out Paintsomeway. They do have different sizes. These are just happen to be the smaller ones. I am using these, similar to these, in my large, extra large diamond painting that I am working on, and that one is the Beast. And so I do have some smaller ones that are tied up with that one, and so I'll have this that I can use for another canvas. So I just wanted to show you a few things that I've bought, not much, but it is adding to my overall ambiance here. I just love working now in my new craft room and also working on this painting. So I'm going to rearrange and I will be right back. Okay, I think I am ready. I do have my drills, and they are in this container. I will put the playlist at the bottom. I do have a separate playlist for this event, and if you're interested, you can take a look at that. But I do have my containers, there's 4 separate ones, above my painting. I have a little shelf that I have them on, and so if you see me reaching over, that's why. But it's the best place that I can actually put them. I can see, and I know where everything is. So I'm going to just keep it there. But again, I'm sorry if you see me reaching over. I just have no other way of doing this. So let me go ahead and get some drills. What I like to do is look and see what symbols are popping out at me. And actually, I do see a new symbol in this section. So that's going to be fun. So I haven't used all the colors, close to it, but not all of them. So let's see, let's go with a W. And I do have these in a particular order that works for me. So I have letters and then I have numbers together. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this. This is kind of a large section, but it is the size of my actual release paper. And then also, I find when I work on larger paintings, even though they are loaded in confetti like this one, which means that there's a lot of colors in a small area, so you're having to change out your colors pretty frequently. I have a little bit larger area. I've found over the years that if I have a larger area rather than a smaller, it might take me longer. It might feel like it's taking forever to finish the section, but it's actually faster because I don't have to keep pulling drills out on the next section, if that makes sense. I have a larger section to work with, and so there's going to be possibly more that I can go ahead and fill in. And I may not finish a section in one sitting. I like to, but if I don't, it's no big deal. I just cover it up with release paper again, and then I will work on it later. And I do have a cat and a dog. My cat loves to walk on my table. She's really enjoying my craft room now because she has a lot of room that she can walk around. So she's really into that right now and jumping from one of my tables to the next. But she has not bothered my diamond painting. So I'm hoping it's going to stay that way, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Haven't had any mishaps yet. Doesn't mean there won't be any, but I've been lucky. So let me know how you guys are doing. I always like to ask at the beginning. I hope I asked last week after I did my WIP Chat, and then after I uploaded it onto YouTube, I started thinking, I thought, I hope that I asked them. I always do, but I was so excited to get the Josephine wall kickoff event going that I don't know if I did. And if I did not, I apologize profusely to you guys. But I want to make sure that I do ask how you're doing. What are you working on? How is your week going so far? When you see this, it will be Tuesday. So it's still early part of the week. So hopefully you had a nice weekend and you're having a good start to your week. If you observed Easter, I hope that you had a fabulous Easter day. We kept it really low-key. And when the kids were younger, and they're older now, so we don't do any of that, but when the kids were younger, we did the Easter baskets. And I was still doing Easter baskets up until about 3 years ago, and my kids are grown. But now it's just like, okay, I'm just not going to do that anymore. And my daughter was kind of like, where's my Easter basket? I'm like, I am sorry, but we're not doing that. Neither one of them really like candy. My oldest is having a baby, and so I'm like, sorry, I'm going to stop doing some things, but then adding more. So I'm not going to stop doing things for my kids just because I'm having a grandbaby. But I thought Easter, they know better. Easter's not for that anyway. I did give them a little something, and I said, this is because, of the day, and this should be a day of celebration and not a day of sadness. And so I did give them a little bit of money, and they were both happy. So hopefully we will have a really good week this week. So far our week is working out fairly well. It's been a little quiet, which is fine by me because I have been so busy between the move, and we've been preparing for Maddie's wedding for almost 2 years. We started talking about it, and she bought her dress about 1.5 years ago, and it has just, we've been doing things for 1.5 years, and now it's getting closer and closer and faster, and we still have things that need to be done or things that need to be decided on. So that is being pretty much done, should be finished shortly. I still need to pay the stylist who is going to be doing everyone's hair, the girls' hair, Madison's friends, that's going to be in the wedding, along with Paige and myself, and then a couple of other family members. And then we're also going to have our makeup done by her. So she's basically, makeup artist and hairstylist. My hair's so short, I'm not getting my hair done. I'm just going to do that myself. But there's no point in paying an exorbitant amount for my hair when there's nothing that they can do. So I thought, nope, I'm not going to do that for me. But I am going to have my makeup done. So I've got to find that invoice. I know it's in my email somewhere. And I got to get that paid off by the end of this month, which is April. And we have our dresses now. I decided on what dress I wanted. Now I'm just waiting on the color. I should receive the dress. I tried it on a different color, and so I like it. I'm going to go ahead. I've ordered the color that I want, and that should be in on Thursday. I am going to have a little bit of alterations done to mine. Paige is fine with hers. Her dress fits her perfectly. The length is really good. So at least that's done. I've started stressing because I've been looking for a dress. Could not find one for the longest time. And then Paige has to have a specific color. We kept ordering from this place that Madison suggested, and I just was not happy with anything that came in. We did it 4 times, and it is a pain in the neck to have to take it to UPS to get it sent off. The first time was because they didn't really know how they were supposed to do this, even though they were told, supposedly. So I had to deal with all of that, got that taken care of, and then the last shipment came in yesterday, and I said, nope, we're not doing this. I don't like these dresses. They don't look right on Paige. So we found another one, luckily, and that's what we decided to go with. So I am more than happy that's done. Now let's see, what else jumps out at me? The darker ones. We have the 2 feet. So we have feet. Feet goes underneath people and body parts, and it's right here. I love how easy that this is for me to find my drills. We do not have a fence in this yard, this house right now. We've contacted a fence company that my husband really wants to use because we have used them before. They did a really good job, gave a really good estimate. And so he wants to use them, and they have been super busy. We finally had gotten an appointment, and the person that they were sending out that is in our area, for some reason, I don't know what the reason was, but for some reason, he had to reschedule, and we couldn't get back on his list for another 2 weeks. So here we are now. We've been waiting 4 weeks. He came yesterday. So their representative came out yesterday morning and said that he would give us a quote by the afternoon, and then we could go ahead and get set up. If we liked the quote, we can go ahead and get on their list, because it's another 2 weeks before they're going to have an opening to actually have the fence installed. So we thought, okay, this will be great. And my husband's like, oh, it's no big deal. We're not going to do anything right now anyway. And I said, I understand that, but I'm the one that's having to walk the dog, because she will not go for my husband. She will hold it all night long and all day if she has to. She refuses to go on a leash with my husband. So he has gotten out of walking the dog, but Paige and I are having to walk her. And sometimes she will go, and sometimes she will just sniff and not go, want to come in the house like she's done. Bring her in, and within 10 minutes she starts having a fit that she needs to go. So I'm getting frustrated. I know Paige is getting frustrated having to do it too, and I am just ready to have a fence. So hopefully, fingers crossed, and then it's not going to be too much where they're going to try to, you know, inflate the amount, but we'll see. And my husband also wants to get a really nice building, and he cannot have the fence up because then they can't get the building through the fence, and so he's going to have them come back twice and do, you know, 2 different jobs, do part of it, and then have like a temporary fence on one side where Molly can't get out. Then once he gets his building, then he will be able to call them back. They'll be able to come and finish up the fence. And so I was telling that guy that yesterday, and he said, well, the only thing with that, it's going to cost you more because we have minimum quotas that we have to give out, and we can't come unless it's a minimum quota. So if we come out a second time, that's considered a new job. So I asked him if he would quote, you know, give us 2 different quotes. One is going to be the quote that is going to be for the full yard, that with full area that we want at one time, and the other one's going to be them coming back. And so I asked my husband, I'm like, can you go ahead and at least order your building? He's finally decided what he wants. He knows the size and everything. He knows where he's going to put it. I said, all you got to do is call him, and then we can go ahead and get that started. And if it's only going to be, you know, a couple of weeks or so, we'll just get on their schedule and we can wait. But I don't want to wait another month. I don't mind waiting. You know, if I have to wait a month and we're saving money, then that's fine. But I don't want to wait, and then he doesn't have the building, and so we're basically back at square one. So I think he's going to take care of that, which will be super nice if that will happen. So we're waiting on the fence. That's really important. And then also we have gotten some renderings on our deck of how we want to change the deck, and we need to get back with the contractor for that one. Let's see, I need communication. I need a computer under communication and technology. But so hopefully we'll get that done soon. I don't mind waiting on the deck. That's not a problem. It is just Molly is not happy that she can't go outside and run around, because she loves doing that. It's not fair to her, and then it's not fair to Paige and I having to go and walk her all the time, which it's been nice because we've been able to walk more. So that did require Paige and I to walk more. We walk her around the neighborhood, got to know some people, so that's nice that we've met some people because of that. But I'm just afraid that Molly's going to try to get away, and that would not be good. I know that she could easily pull on that leash and she wouldn't have a problem, because she's a very strong dog. She's a collie. But hopefully we will not have to worry about that. I'll still walk her because I enjoy that. She has gone to doggy daycare once and she really enjoyed it, so she'll be going back for that. And she had to, before she went to doggy daycare, she had to have a behavioral evaluation, is what they called it, to where they had to make sure that she interacts okay with other dogs and that she's not aggressive or anything like that. And she passed without any problems. I knew she wouldn't have a problem, but she passed on that. And she's been at a different place, and they love her when she goes and stays there because she keeps the puppies occupied. She loves puppies, and so they tried her with the bigger dogs, and she wasn't a fan. And so they did put her with the puppies, and she was just so happy. She came home just exhausted She ate her dinner and she went straight to bed. She was so tired and she slept all night. So that's definitely something I'm going to do again. Got her out of the house, and that way the cat was, just the cat with us. We played with her for a little bit. So it's been busy, but our house is starting to look like a home. I've gotten quite a bit unboxed. I still have a lot to unbox. Our garage, we have an oversized garage, and the garage is still pretty full of things that we need to go through. Some of it is my husband's, so that's something he's going to have to do. A lot of that's going to go into his building. He's going to have a building and a workroom. We do have a small storage shed right now, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to get rid of it. And then he mentioned, well, we could keep it. He said, if you wanted it, you could use it. And I said, well, I don't know if I really need it, but let me think about it, because he doesn't want to put any AC, or heating system in there. And I thought, but we might be able to do a mini split, and that would be good office for me. So we're talking about that. It is small, so I wouldn't want to have that as like a craft room or anything. It does have windows, so that's definitely a plus, but it's not insulated or anything like that. So I don't know. We're just still trying to decide on some things. This house is smaller, but so far everything is fitting perfectly in my kitchen. I still have space left, and I haven't unboxed everything yet, because when he brought boxes in, he just put them in the garage, and then he would put boxes on top of boxes. And so I don't know where anything is. I just grab a box whenever I have time, and I'll either bring it in the house, or if he's home, he'll do it for me. If he's not home, I just start opening the box in the garage, and I'll just start carrying stuff in the house. And whatever's in that box, I make sure that I unbox it. So I'm doing one box at a time, and that we don't have stuff just laying around everywhere, because I can't stand that. And I'm looking for a nice cozy chair, or an oversized chair, or possibly a love seat to put in our den. We have 2 recliners in there now, and my husband wants to keep his recliner. And so I have a small recliner too that I had used at the other house, because we didn't have enough room for a couch. We actually got rid of our couch before we moved into the rental, because our cat that we had to put to sleep last year, she just tore up our couch on the sides. It was a very comfy couch, but she just pretty much tore the sides of the couch off, thinking it was, her personal scratching post. And so we just decided we're not going to move this. It'll probably fall apart anyway, or all the fabric is going to come off, and we'll just get something that works with our new place. And the only thing that I think would work in our place here would be a sectional sofa. And my husband's like, that's going to take up the whole room, and if we do a sectional sofa, we cannot have our big screen TV. And we have a big screen TV that we love. We don't watch TV that much, but I've gotten to where when I do watch TV, I enjoy watching it on this big screen. So I don't want to get rid of the big screen. So we're just trying to decide what else can we put in there for additional seating. Otherwise, Paige didn't have a chair. Not that she comes in there and watches TV very much with us, but when she does, we have to bring a chair out that we had in our office at a different house, and it is not very comfortable. So I don't want to keep that one in there. It's in there now, but I want to definitely change it out. So that's something else that we're trying to decide on. I did go to Hobby Lobby last week, and I was looking at some mirrors to put above the mantle. And I bought one, and the mirror is really pretty, but I got it home and it's way too small for the area where I wanted to put it. But it fits very nice in at the end of our hall. So we are going to keep that mirror, but now I have to go and look for another one to put above the mantle. So if I find something that I really like, then I'll go ahead and get that. If not, I'll keep looking. My craft room is coming along, but it has a long way to go. I still have a lot of boxes. I can't decide how I'm going to do this, but it is looking good. And I have almost everything in like open containers, clear containers. So it's very colorful in my room now. Everything is out in the open, and I like that better than having it in a closet or covered up. But the only problem with that is I'm starting to run out of space in my craft room between diamond painting, accessories, and my big table that I have for diamond painting. And then also all my card making supplies. It's like, man, it's pretty crowded. And my diamond paintings are going to go in the garage. I think they'll be okay in there. It's not going to be too cold or too hot. We are getting some insulated doors, and my husband is going to have the garage insulated. It's insulated some, but he's going to have it where they're going to spray foam it because he wants to have a nice garage. And so I think that my diamond paintings will be okay. And then I did call, and I had asked when this came up before about leaving diamond paintings in a garage, because I live in Georgia, so it does get cold and it goes very hot here. So I did ask a diamond painting company at one point about leaving diamond paintings in the garage, what they thought, and they said that diamond paintings are they're in until they're sold. They are, in a large warehouse, and so the warehouse isn't heated or cool, and there's not ever been any problems. So I thought, well, okay, that makes me feel better. So I'm going to leave them out there, and then if I notice that there's a problem, then I'll bring them in. But bringing them in is a problem because I don't know where I'm going to put them. I know that Katie with Diamonds and Washi, I've heard her in the past on a WIP Chat saying that she stores her diamond paintings in her garage and that she was running out of space, and I think that's how it came up. So I thought, well, she's been doing this for a long time and hers is okay, but her climate is totally different than mine. So I can't really compare her climate and ours. And I've heard from other people that have theirs in like a storage building on their property, or some have even rented a storage building and they haven't had any problems. So I'm going to run with it and see what happens. I am going to have a keyword towards the end of this video. I have not mentioned that yet, for the Josephine wall event that Campus Crafts and I are hosting this year. And I also have a winner from last month, or last week. I was going to say last year. Have a winner from last week, and so I will do that after my WIP Chat, or I'll do it in the middle, and then I will also have chapters underneath my description, so that way if you're not here for a WIP Chat, then you can just go directly to that. That's totally up to you. Paige was sick last week. Thank goodness she is feeling better. her allergies were really bothering her. And then I found out, we went to the same doctor's office, but we saw someone different because we couldn't get into anybody that we are used to seeing. And I was told by this person, which was a physician's assistant, that having thyroid issues, which she does, that can cause all kinds of problems, especially sinus problems. Well, no one has told me that. Even when we went to an ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist, they did not even mention that. And she's always having problems with her sinuses. We've had her sinuses, checked. We've had a lot of testing done, and they can't find anything wrong. And so now he said, well, that's probably what it is. And he wants to change her thyroid medication to C. So we're checking into that. And we're going to see if that's going to help her. He also gave her some medication he wants her to take for allergies every day and not wait until she gets hit with allergy issues. So she's definitely feeling better. Her dad took her to a bookstore and also to GameStop on Sunday, which I was surprised that they were open, to be honest. And he spent a small fortune on her with books. So she has plenty of books to read, probably for the next 3 or 4 months at least. Let's see. Let's go now with the telephone. That's under communication. Okay. So now she's put all of her books on her bookshelf. I gave her one of my bookshelves and took my books off. And I said, I'm not going to keep these. They're hardback books. Once I finish reading these books, and most of them of mine are from Book of the Month, then I said I'm going to give them to the little free library that's in our neighborhood. It's actually run by our HOA. So I'll just put my books in there. So I gave her an empty bookshelf on top of the 3 bookshelves that she has, and she's already filling it up. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, because we're not going to have any more room for all these books. You can't keep every book that you're reading. So we'll see what happens when she gets that far. Hopefully it will be a while. I'm not so sure. So that was her Sunday afternoon. We are done with the rental. Thank goodness. We've got to go over there on Saturday. We're going to drop the keys off at the rental. We have specific things we have to do, and they've already put a lockbox on our rental. We have until the end of the month. But once we put the key in the lockbox and then we lock it back, then somehow they are alerted that the keys are in there, and that's when they can take repossession of the rental. So we're going to go ahead. It's going to be early. We're going to go ahead and do that on Saturday morning. We've got a couple of chairs over there and just some fold-up chairs that we were using whenever we went over there if we were cleaning or needed to take a break after we had some more boxing to do. So we're going to pick those up, and then we also have to get our patio, the rest of our patio furniture, and that is it. So we will be done in like 20-30 minutes, if that long. So I'm excited about that. Then that way I can just concentrate on our home and then get everything unboxed and everything set up. And then I'm going to decide what we need to purchase, what will work in this house, what won't. I don't want to go and buy something and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with it in case it doesn't work furniture-wise. work has just been work. It's been busy. We are about to start finals. So I've got to get it together and get my summer classes set up. That shouldn't take too terribly long. And I've got to start preparing myself for the entire month of May. May is going to be absolutely crazy for me. And for my family too, but more so for me on things that has to be done. So hopefully I will be able to stay on my schedule of uploads for videos. I would like to get a jump start, but I don't even know if I can because my videos, I have them in certain order that I want it. And so I don't know if I'll be able to do them in advance, but I will try. First part of May, I am flying to South Dakota for Madison's graduation. She graduates from nursing school, and so I will be flying there. It's going to be a very short trip, just a long weekend basically. And Paige is not going. She's just going to stay at the house. And my husband's not going, so it's just going to be me. And then I'll come back from there, and then we'll have 2 weeks, and then we will head out to North Carolina to where they're getting married. And then we're going to stay there a few days. And then after that, the very next weekend from when Madison gets married, then I have to go out of town for a week for work. I've got to make sure my students are ready. We have an organization that I am the advisor and the mentor, and my students are going to be competing on the national level, 5 of them. So that's going to be really busy. We'll be busy when I'm there. So if anyone lives around the Dallas, Texas area, that's where we're going to be. That's going to be just constant going, I think, while we're there. A lot of work. It's, well worth it. But like, couldn't it come at a different time than in May? And then we have graduation for work, so I have to take part in that. Okay, now I need lines, and that's over here. So I have to take part in graduation for work, so that's another thing. And then they're going to have an open house for new students, and I have to be there to represent accounting. They're having several, and so you have to choose what date. And so I choose early part of June. I thought I cannot do May. There's just no way. I've got too much going on in May. School starts back for the summer in May. So my students will be going to class. They'll be in school and going to nationals if they decide to take summer classes. And I'll be teaching, so I'll have to take my computer. Or being gone a week, I'd have to anyway. I don't see me being able to do videos there because we are flying. I am not taking my filming arm. That's just too much to have to take all of that, and I don't know if I'll have time anyway. So I'm hoping that I can get everything done before I go. The only issue could be the fact that I may not have a WIP Chat because we will not get back until it'll be a Tuesday. and that's when my WIP chats go out. So I might be a day late on my WIP chats for the end of the month. And unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. The only other thing that I have scheduled for the summer is I am going to the retreat that is in Virginia, and that is in July. I don't have anything else planned, but we may decide that we want to do something. I don't know. I doubt it, since we have recently moved. More than likely, we're not going to do anything else because of the move and because of Madison's wedding. I'm going to pay extra for that. So I should have a quiet summer after, well, between, really in June. June will be good. I'll have a quiet summer. And then July, I'll just be gone for a few days for the retreat. So all in all, it's going to be a quiet summer. Should be a quiet term for work. But you never know until you get your students and then see how that goes. I'm hoping I'll have plenty of time to get the house together. I really want to get that done. I feel like it's been a while since we have had a house that we really wanted to make ours. The last two, we were just there because we pretty much had to be in a specific area and we couldn't really find anything, and we just settled for what we could get. And so we decided this time we can stay in a rental as long as we need to. We can move whenever we want to. And we just happened to find a house that met our needs, and that's why we moved kind of earlier again. But I don't plan on moving again. So I want to make this home. This is going to be our last home unless we just get too old and we just cannot live here. And I hope that's not for a very long time, if ever. And I want to thank all of you for such nice birthday wishes. I really, really appreciated it. I felt so loved. My birthday was last week, and so many people responded on Facebook and on YouTube under the comments, on Instagram. So I really, really do appreciate it. You made me feel extremely special. I love our community. And I feel so loved here. So I do want to make sure that I thank all of you. And even if you did not leave a message, I know you were here. And so that's also makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I've gotten several new subscribers. And if you are new, thank you so much for finding me. And for those of you that are not new, I love you guys so much. I am just really happy how my channel is going, and I just really love our community. I enjoy making videos, and I wish I could have had more videos out in the past few months, but it was just with us moving and everything, it has just been absolutely crazy. And then with the wedding, it's been rather crazy around here, but I think things are going to start settling down, so I appreciate you sticking with me. Let's see. I can put this one over here. What other color? What do I want? I'll be glad when I get off of this section. It's all dark colors. I'm ready for some fun colors on this. It's going to be a while. All right, now I need a cup, which is under food and drink, which is here. As far as diamond painting, I believe that's all that I have for my life update. But as far as diamond painting goes, I got some done last week. Not a lot, because I did have some things going on for work that I had to take care of. So I didn't get a lot done, but I was able to diamond paint every day, which I was excited for. It may have only been 30 minutes, but it was every day. And I did finish my dragon seasons. I finished that before last week. So that is done. I already have a video completed on that one. It's already up. It is scheduled to go out on Thursday of this week. And then I am going to have yet another new start, and that's going to be on the new diamond painting that, of course, it's new because it'll be a new start, but it's a diamond painting that I have gotten from Ever After, a new diamond painting company, and I am kitting that one up. We're going to work on, or you're going to see my progress on that one. That's scheduled to go up on Saturday. And I'm really liking the drills. It's a square drill painting, and the drills are really, really good. They're not too tight. They're not gappy. They're very shiny. And the canvas is so cute. It's called Beautiful, and that's B-E-E. She has a B on her nose, and it's so cute. So that's not going to be it's not very large. It's like a 60 by 60, but it's going to take me a little bit because I'm working on it in between this one and then also in between my beast that I'm working on and then another small one. So I do have some whips I'm going to have going. I like to have multiple. I like to have options. It doesn't matter when I finish. I am not competing against anybody for, how many am I going to get? And I need to show you that I can get this many in a year. I don't care. The only reason why I give myself a goal every year is because I am doing it for me. Okay, you guys, sorry I had to stop for a minute because my husband just came home from work and I wanted to talk to him for a few minutes, but I am back. And then he will work some, so it should be pretty quiet in the house. And especially if Molly starts barking, she won't bark with him here. That is something that she will not do. The secret word for week 3 is home, H-O-M-E in lowercase, since I've been discussing our new home. And make sure that you do use the word home in a sentence, so that way the trolls will not come after us. Okay, you guys, I have the keyword down here is cake from last week, and I also have it associated with my YouTube from last week. So let's spin and see who wins for week 2. There are 25 comments. And Diamonds and Dragonflies won. Says, I wish I could celebrate your birthday with you and have some yummy cake. So congratulations to Heather. And if you will contact me, I will go ahead and get you your information. Some I have to send to our sponsors, and then others I already have the coupon codes for. So for next week, we have several giveaways again. And next week will be week 3 already. We have Creations Morin, we have Wendy K Designs, Diamond Painting Deutschland, and we have Bijou Bliss, which is going to be giving away a gorgeous tray. Make sure you do also check with Kim, because she also has winners and she has different prizes as well. Hope everyone enjoyed your week, And if you like this video, please click on the like button. Also, if you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you. And be sure to click on the notification bell so you are notified of any future uploads. And as always, happy diamond painting. Bye.